Morning everyone, Travis Merritt, Fitness Revolution, Rowlett. So it's currently about 7 a.m. Friday morning, and I realized that as I was cooking that I haven't done a cooking video for you guys in a while, so I figured why not let me show you one of my new go-to recipes. And this is something I've actually been eating, quite often, almost 3 to 4 times a week, and I've really been enjoying. And this is a good breakfast meal, and between honest, I've cooked this late at night too, so as everyone knows, breakfast can be eaten any time of the day. And we're gonna make our own little sweet potato hash. So I like to cook this and eat it, especially when I have a little bit more time in the mornings. But you can definitely cook this, it doesn't take that long whatsoever, and save some for the rest of the day. But first, what we're gonna do is let me show you how this is done. So first off, you might need 1 or 2 sweet potatoes. Of course, it just depends. If you're on a pretty strict plan, you'll have to determine how much you do need or how much you're allotted. For me, it's gonna be about probably close to 2 sweet potatoes. So what we're gonna do first is we're actually gonna skin these things. So as always, bear with me while I adjust the camera to kind of go over the sink. Let's go here. All right. Ignore the shoes right there. I just actually pulled them out of the wash. Yes, I am one of those guys that I will wash my shoes on occasion. So first off, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come up and start really skinning the sweet potato. Now, I know some people, you might wanna skin your sweet potato or your potato, whatever you wanna use, over the trash can. But I go over the disposal because I'm a rebel like that, so I'm hardcore, what can I say? Okay. Now, when you start skinning a sweet potato, one thing to make sure that you do, and I see a lot of new people do this, is they'll really put a lot of weight into this and just take a chunk out of the sweet potato, and you end up losing a lot of just good quality potato. What I recommend doing is just lightly going over it. You only need to get the skin off. You don't need to end up missing the entire potato. So let's come on through here. Okay, let's angle this down a little bit more. You don't need any more boob shots right there. All right, again, if it's a little crooked, sorry. So next what you're gonna need is, yep, see him? Okay. We're gonna actually cut this thing probably in quarters. I'm gonna show you why. Because after this, we're gonna actually put this in a food processor. And this is probably the key thing right here that you will need. Do not use a blender unless your blender has a food processor setting on it. You will want to use a food processor because otherwise you run the risk of, say, if I were to put it in that little NutriBullet or Nutri-Ninja, I should say, I run the risk of being more of a puree and less more of a choppy type of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna press this on chop. And if you take a look at it right now, it's actually not too bad. This is a lot easier, in my opinion, than sitting down and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. Now, guys, I'm on a little bit more of a strict plan right now, so what you're gonna actually see me do is you're gonna see me actually weigh this, okay? Approximately, according to my diet, as of today, I will need about 250 grams of scale weight of sweet potato. So I like to weigh in grams because, in my opinion, it's just a little easier to get a little bit more of a, it's better, it's a little more accurate measurement than versus trying to sometimes get ounces. But you do whatever's your personal preference. 230. I bet you if I were just to get some of this stuff out, I could probably get pretty close to 250. You know what, we're at 240 grams right now, and let's say that's good. I'm pretty sure that'll be okay. So let me fake this thing up. Okay, so as of right now, I currently have my pan ready to go. I've already put in, of course, my coconut spray. And I've got this, we'll turn it up to a medium now. So here's all you do. You take what's in here, make sure your pan is ready to go, and pour it in. What we're gonna do after that is we're technically gonna do similar to a saute. So season it with your choice of seasoning, and as anyone knows, I will always go just with my basic go-to seasoned salt. It's just one of the easiest things to do. So feel free to be pretty liberal with this. Season it up. And now you wait. In all honesty, for this part, we'll get to the next steps in a little bit, but I'm actually going to pause the camera and show you what the next steps will be and how this comes out. Alright guys, so it's been about 6 minutes. We're at a point right now, I try to get as close as I can so I can still work a little bit. That it's starting, I don't know if you can barely see, it's starting to just tinge brown. When it starts getting a little hint of brown, it means it's time for the next ingredient. Okay? And the next ingredient, if you can't see what's back here, is actually eggs. So for me personally, I will do 1 whole egg and then I'm going to do a cup of liquid egg whites. Again, you do whatever you want, you do whatever, if you're on a strict plan, whatever your strict plan is going to entail. Okay. And let's do this. Go just about a cup. Alright. Go through, stir it up nicely. And at this point in time, it really won't take that long. Maybe a couple of minutes. So, as always, if you want to season more, feel free before you go season happy though. Make sure you do know what kind of seasoning you use. Some of that seasoning can go a long way. Others, and seasonals are the ones that I see you can do this with, you can just be a tad more liberal. So, at this point in time, you will kind of want to be here and nurse the sweet potato hash. Sit and stir constantly. And then you will have 2 choices. Pretty much, it's just about done. Told you, see, it doesn't take that long as soon as you put the eggs in. You have 2 choices. 1, pretty much put on the plate and eat now. Or 2, what I'm going to have to do, which is put in a Tupperware container and save for later today. Alright. So right now we are about done. The eggs are kind of tinging a little bit. You know, rule of thumb I remember hearing a long time ago when it talked about cooking the perfect scrambled egg was to stop cooking right before the eggs started to look like they were browning, because actually when you take them out of the pan, they will still cook for almost up to 60 seconds. Again, I'm not sure if that time's right or not, but to pull it out right before that time happens, because they will continue to cook just a little bit longer. And I found that's actually a little true with this one. So right before it starts hitting that little bit of brown, which we're pretty close to now, which right about here I think is perfect, we will stop. And let's see if I can't dump this in there as to the best of my abilities while on camera, while not doing any edits whatsoever, though I will add in a lot of funky subtitles on occasion. If anyone's been watching any of the videos, they'll see that I do a lot of that. Alright, and you can actually see here that, we'll put this in the sink. That's actually not too bad. Let's turn this a little bit, maybe that might help. No, we're just not gonna get good lighting whatsoever. So, let's see if I can't do this. We aren't really gonna get good lighting. It's just gonna happen, so excuse me while I do this. But, at this point in time, okay? Let's see, just camera. Well, maybe y'all can see it. If not, if y'all can't see it, make your own. That's what I'd recommend doing. This is exactly how you end up starting. But this is actually a good, legit breakfast, in my opinion. Good, healthy carbs, good fats with a little bit of the egg in there, and healthy protein. Now, this really isn't going to be my breakfast. This will actually be my meal 2 for the day, which is going to be my pre-workout meal, which works amazing for me. But guys, let me know what you think. Give this a shot. And if you haven't tried it, don't knock it until you try it. That's always what I say, because personally I've learned to love this stuff right here. If you have any comments or questions, of course, just put it in the comment section below and I'll get back to it as soon as I can. But in the meantime, guys, it is currently about only 7:18, so right around 15 minutes for us to make this. And you can make 2 to 3 servings at a time. This can go a long way. So in the meantime, guys, take care, enjoy your workout, stay healthy, and I hope to hear from you soon.